not just
survive. So wake up, my friend.
Wake up, my friend.
Wake up, my friend. Wake up, my friend. It's time to thrive. You can do it.
Wake up, my friend. Wake up, my friend. Wake up, my friend. It's time to thrive.
I am so grateful to God because today is something new. It's new even for me. I'm just excited about it as I launched Them Girls Vote. So good evening, everybody. Yes, look at George on saying you're better.
Hi, George.
Hi, George Potts Young. Praise God, our son. And so listen, we launched that on today because today is a special day. People that are watching, people of God, people. I launched Them Girls Vote on this day because it's a new thing that's happening. Today, BET and Urban League joined together with other organizing groups to launch the first Black Voters Day. Now, of course, it's not the day that black, white, or any color vote, but it is a day that we heighten the awareness. Now, I've been just thinking, and of course, I said a lot today. I see Yvette Robinson. But anyway, I am thanking God that it is time for a new, we're in the pandemic, Jasmine. And, the enemy's trying to say you're halted, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You can't go any place. You can't do anything. But God is saying, no, see, won't I, watch this, do a new thing.
New thing.
Well, you're not knowing. I will put a river in the midst of the desert. That's the word of God.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't even have a Bible, and I'm quoting the scriptures.
So anointed. Off the dome.
Really, we have to understand that we are locked. We shut in, but we're not shut down.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that, and I have been not just trying to sound super spiritual, but I have been in much prayer and consecration while I'm shut in. And in that shutting in, I received fresh revelation.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Rosh Hashanah. It's a new year, Jewish calendar, but it's God's calendar. And I believe that when Christ comes back, when God does his thing, that it will be according to that calendar, the calendar. But I'm so aware of this calendar, my on earth calendar. Now watch this. He said, I'll do a new thing where you not know it. But we are supposed to be up on what God is doing and what's happening in the world. He said, in it, but not of it.
But not of it.
Not of it. I know you're a preacher.
I'm
of it. So in other words, you don't align yourself with everything the world is doing, but you sure are aware of the voting right privilege that we have.
Yes.
To bring about the new thing. And again, I'll preface our conversation with this, as I said today. Stop saying that foolishness. Stop your children. I see you, Kathy. Stop your co-workers and anybody you have influence over, women of God and women. Stop them from saying that voting doesn't work. If voting didn't work, Jasmine, you wouldn't be an attorney today.
Absolutely.
If voting didn't work, we wouldn't have corporate America. If voting didn't work, so many privileges that my granny, great granny, great, they fought and they, slaved, they did everything.
Yes.
And soon I love them because little education, little opportunities, but they had strategy. It was almost like as soon as I get a piece of freedom to get off this plantation, as soon as if I can just make it over there without being killed, I'm going to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said today, my granny said to me, with a 6th grade education, after a divorce, I went to live with her. Come on, Poopy, come with Granny, because Granny has to go cast her vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
She left me something great. She was
Mm-hmm.
showing me you could do a lot with a little.
With a little.
And so we're always talking about, ooh, Kanye got millions. Who got Well, we all don't have that. But that does not stop us from participating and being impactful,
Yes.
being powerful. It's not, and that's why I have you here today, because I'm going to get a little higher here. It's not why I have, it's why I have you here today, because I want people to know it's not how much money you have. It's not what position you're in. It could
Mm-hmm.
be low, in the middle. Voting cost you nothing but a will and a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I wrote that song, Jasmine, Where There's a Will.
You want me to sing it?
Ooh, do you know it? You remember it? My babies. I want,
I wouldn't dare scare your followers like that.
yeah. That's why I went, ooh, but I want you, listen, Jasmine Brown. She's not my family. I'm Debra Brown Morton, but I feel that we are kin. So Jasmine, I have you here.
Yes.
We're having some technical things going on my phone, but because you don't need a lot of money, as I said,
Yeah.
you don't need to be at the head of a corporation
Right.
to make change, to be powerful, to uh, have strategy.
Yeah.
David was a little shepherd boy.
Mm-hmm.
He took, a,
Yep.
he took a mighty king out. Come on, somebody. See, I didn't come on here to preach, but
Well, you're shouting us.
yeah, I will,
You're
because
so good.
David understood that with the power of God, that he could move mountains. He had a will,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Yep.
had 5 smooth stones. That didn't cost him a whole lot. And we just had a prayer line, and the guy used that actually illustration. He said he had to go through some rough ones to in order for him to kill that king.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, he used what he had. And
Mm-hmm.
all jokes aside, we want to use what we have. And so, Jasmine, I heard some good news about you. I was so excited. You're such a daughter. You went to another church, but you're such a daughter.
Pastor
I'm
D.
your pastor,
Forever my pastor. Okay.
what she says to psych me out. But anyway, you're such a wonderful woman of God. I watched you grow up, love God, work in the youth ministry, work with the young adults. Well, work with the young adults,
Mm-hmm.
and continuing to pursue. And we saw you off to college and then saw you off to law school. And I'm blessed today for you to be sitting here uh, to interview you, because you used what you had. So today, people of God, I want you to hear Jasmine, because them girls vote is about all the girls, all the women, all the beauties getting themselves together to say, my sphere of influence, my circle, I'm going to make sure that they are registered. I'm going to make sure that they get to the polls. Then I'm going outside of that. When we watched that movie,
Mm-hmm.
Harriet Tubman, she ran and ran and came back and went. And we have to use our energy. We have to use our smarts, our will, everything that we have, our material gain cars, whatever. Listen, you get in the back. I want you 6 feet away. I'm taking you to the polls. I'm taking you to register to vote. Or I'm going to follow you there in your car. We have influence. Women have influence. And so them girls vote is about the women who care about integrity, care about equity. You care about policy. You know, all the things that we do through in the political world, you should be involved. You have a right. After they sweat, cried, wept, I said cried, wept. They our forefathers were beaten and all. Will you spit on their grave and say, I don't care? Doesn't work. The reason you're here, the reason you're there, the reason you're doing what you're doing is because somebody was there for you. So listen, Jasmine, go forth and tell them how God dropped something in your spirit and you did a great work on the last election.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me. My forever pastor, Pastor Debra B. Morton. I mean, I've learned so much intangibly and tangibly from you, from the way that you dress and slay to the way that you slay demons in the spirit. You are just an example for us all. So thank you so much. And so going back to the vision that God gave me for the governor's race last year, as you were saying, voting is just so important, right? Because there, as you were speaking, so many things came to mind. And the main thing that I thought about was determination, right? As you spoke about what our ancestors had to go through, what your grandmother did, no matter what was going on, they only thought about, if I can get a piece of this freedom, don't let me get a piece of the freedom.
Wow.
It's on. It's on. So determination. And so as I think about that, as I think about what our ancestors had to go through at that time, and even, I mean, just what we even go through on a day-to-day basis, the key thing is determination, right? And so as I thought about the governor's race, I really realized that millennials and Generation Z weren't really being mobilized to go and vote, right? I think that my parents' generation, the generation above them, because they're so close to the fight and to the struggle at the time, like, you guys see voting as a necessity. You know, your grandmothers took you to vote. We didn't, all of us didn't have that. And so when I realized that, I would speak to Generation Z people. I'll never forget, I was in the hair salon, and a Gen Zer said, no, I don't vote in governor's races or any other race except for the president's race. And I said, wait, what? And so without judgment, I had to catch myself, because I was just like, I'm hearing this too much from this generation. And so I then began to just explore, like, so tell me why, tell me more. Let's talk about this. And so she genuinely believed that her vote did not matter.
Right.
Just very candidly, she was like, well, my vote don't count. I mean, I don't see change happening around here. So I then had to explain to her that, you know, how important elections are, and why you should be trying to vote for your governor, Lord, just as much, if not more, as you're trying to vote for your president.
Jasmine.
And so after I realized that, I realized we have to capture Gen Z and millennials. We can literally win or lose a race by the power of the vote of the Generation Zers and the millennials, especially in our community as Black people. And so I fought with it. I struggled with it. I didn't want to do it. At the time, I was trying to do a million things as per usual. And I'm like, God, I can't, not me. Please, come on now. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. I don't have time to take this fight up right now. And so again, thinking about the things that our ancestors had to go through, how could I not? And that was really the question. How could you not? How could you not carve out time? This isn't a luxury. This is essential. This is a necessity. This is a priority. And so I began to pray about it, and I finally accepted the call, and I said, all right, God, what do you want me to do? What will you have me to do? And so really quickly, he downloaded into my spirit that, you know, Gen Z and millennials, they're mobilized by influencers.
That's right.
So see if you can get together a gang of influencers,
yes,
to talk about voting. Why do you vote? And so as we were doing it, we came up with a catchy saying called "Go vote, bruh." You know, in normal New Orleanian fashion, "Go vote, bruh" was the name of the campaign, and we got great influencers. PJ Morton being one of them, thankfully. Brandon Odoms, B Mike, Justice Williams, who's an influencer in the Gen Z area. We got some business people such as Kalisha Garrett. I mean, we got a slew of Gen Z and millennials who were able to come on camera in a commercial like fashion and say, look, go vote, bro. Like, what you doing? Go vote, bro. You know, and gave their personal testimony why they voted. And so we were able to release that Friday before the election, and it went viral.
Yeah.
It went viral, and we saw thousands of Gen Zers and millennials around the city posting, okay, I went to vote, and they would hashtag go vote, bro.
Well, listen, you're here because of that. And Christiane, actually, I had another guest from the Urban League, and her plane, the boarding time, she didn't realize it on Eastern time was conflicting. So I went to my next plan of action. I could pull them out of the bag. I knew I needed to have someone on. And when Christiane, that's why I never fight against the younger generation, Jasmine. You know that. I give them I'm inclusive, because what I have, you need, and what you guys have, I need. You, all of us, people of God, if you're over 50, we are valuable, but they are valuable as well. And in this voting, as you said, when you heard the young lady say that I don't vote, and it grieves you. Well, just think about me. I'm older. You know, we get real emotional about voting.
Yeah.
I kept saying, I mean, it's as God heard my prayer. I was talking day before yesterday, and I was looking at a guy who gave some stats on TV. What was about 2 days ago? He said 56, if I'm not wrong, million people, Black people, did not vote when Obama got in. So I was like, let me read this. He didn't say 56 million around the United States. 56 million did not vote. When Hillary and Trump ran, are you ready? It doubled. 100 million people. I'm like, what? So I know it was Pookie in them.
Had to be.
It was Pookie in them. And he said, the gentleman said, if Black people voted, and my Dem Girls vote, on the shirt, there's a Black girl, there's an Asian girl, and a white girl, because I'm about the girls, the women, you know, they rock the cradle and they rule the world.
Yes. Black
so
girl
I'm
magic,
really about guys. I mean, and my peeps are on there, my age group. But I pulled you in, Jasmine, because I want all of us to understand the power we possess with our vote. And so 100 million people, and we're talking about, ooh, Trump got to go. Well, Trump wouldn't have been in because he did not win the popular vote, and Dem Girls vote is nonpartisan. It's whatever. Just understand your value, understand voting. And when I saw those numbers, they were staggering. That is like too many Black people not being counted, not being in a political play.
Yeah.
You out of the game, bruh. You still vote, bruh. You out of the game. And we wonder, even with the census, why our neighborhoods look like they do, why we don't have the funding, because we don't know anything about policy. Yeah. We don't know. And so Dem Girls Vote is really, it's in info@demgirlsvote.org if you want to join the movement, info@demgirlsvote.org. This is not just about us doing it when it's voting season, but it is for us to carry this throughout, Jasmine. It's too hard. I'm too old to be trying to gather everybody to vote at the last minute. So we want to keep it going. We want to stay engaged. We want to educate. We want to empower. We want to nurture and fashion people who will be ready for office. We want to support our candidates, push the people, all the candidates to know, because even people who participate, I admire them because they could stay back and say, well, I don't want to run for office, but something inside of them pushes them to want to be involved. Something is inside of me pushing me to be involved as well from the voting side and leadership. So I started Power Woman a while back, right after Katrina. And this is being sponsored. It's an initiative of Power Woman because we
Mm-hmm.
have power, ladies, but we
Yeah.
use them.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point about power, you know, I was just reading that Black women, the
Email.
Black woman vote is literally the most powerful vote in the country.
Yes.
Because when Black women vote, the family votes. When the Black woman says, okay, I'm going to the polls, usually the Black woman doesn't go by herself. She's bringing her husband, she's bringing her spouse, her partner, she's bringing her children, she's calling the grandchildren. When Black women decide that this is what they're going to do, and when they tap into their magic and their power, we win elections that way. We see it time and time and time again, which is why I love what you're doing with Them Girls Group.
Yeah.
Love it. It's so necessary and so relevant. It's so powerful.
Well, I've been leading women for a long time. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate them. I love them as my sisters. No shenanigans. I care about them, and women know. I mean, I have some history, so I didn't just jump up with this. And but it is to push you, is to encourage you, first of all, to know your worth, even in this, because we can work some other things. But when we see the disenfranchisement of our people, Black and brown people, of foreigners, of different things that are happening, especially people of God that we know God said we should not do, voting can put your candidate in the office. And we need to hold them. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. We need to hold them accountable. We need to be at the table. We need to vote locally as well, statewide, because we need to put in people and then hold them accountable. We need to get people at the table who we want at the table. The evangelicals, I fuss about them because the Bible's the Bible. You can't tell me abortion is a sin, but not shooting boys in the back is a sin. You can't tell me that. So I'm not all the way with them, but what I am with them for is they wanted policy to be changed on abortion, so they got behind their candidate. So I saw somebody say they didn't vote for Hillary because of her husband's some kind of criminal activity. Well, I want you to know there's some criminal activity going on right now. And most, if you go in anybody's record, they have some things wrong, but you weigh them out. Now, that's not your pastor, that's a politician. So they both had, Trump had sin, and Bill Clinton had sin, and Hillary might have had sin. And guess what? We still got the ones with sin. So we but Obama, we didn't know anything on him, and 56 plus million people didn't vote. As Jasmine made a very valid point, she said that many weren't taught about voting like my granny taught me and my dad in their home. So we go and we pick it up. We carry that weight and we go tell and we go influence and we go and educate. We have to, and they know me, I've been doing it a long time. Where there's a will, I wrote the song, there's a way. And whatever we need to do, first of all, if you're a believer, Nicole, I see you. He had 3 strikes criminal legislation that he initiated. Okay, but I'm talking about this election now. I'm talking about this election. And we see when we, of course, put the wrong person in, and it's your choice. It's your choice. As I said, I'm nonpartisan, whatever, but at least vote. They didn't vote at all. People didn't vote at all. 56 million, 100 million. That's too many Black people not voting, and Black and brown people. So I'm trying to encourage you to vote. And for us, okay, you want candidates in the race that are not criminal. Of course we do. But you know what? Another thing, do we give money? It takes money to run.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
started giving. I started giving to the Democrat. That's my party. But what I believe in, do we give money?
Yeah.
Do we give anything? You saying run? You saying run? Do you help people run? It costs money to run.
Yes.
Get your candidate in there who's not criminal.
Mm-hmm.
But voting
Yeah.
is what we do in a democracy.
Absolutely.
And what
Absolutely. And you were alluding to that Christianity piece, and I love that piece because I just had a conversation with somebody about that, especially around the issues around social injustice, you know, and voting falls within that. And I told somebody, you know, it's because I'm a Christian that I take my responsibility to vote so serious.
Yes.
It's not in spite of the fact that I'm Christian, or because I'm Christian, I have to watch, you know, I don't vote, or I don't participate in political activities or what have you. I'm always who I am. I'm going to always be, you know, handle myself with a matter of integrity and just from a principle of faith. But it's because I'm a Christian that I have this duty to make sure that me and those around me have the best environment as we possibly can. And that's what voting does. It gives us an opportunity. There cannot be mobility without the opportunity. So we have to take advantage of the opportunity. It's the one thing that is free in this country. You know, we don't have a lot of free stuff.
Hello.
We don't have a lot of free stuff.
No.
It is the one thing that puts us on the same playing field.
Level grounds. You can vote if you live in the ghetto.
Yes.
You can vote if you homeless. You have an address. You need an address, I believe. You can vote if you on, living in a mansion.
Yeah.
We can't say that we can't vote. We say we won't vote.
Mm-hmm.
But if the people that came before us, I said 100 million times, if they had said, I just got out of slavery, or I'm tired, they're gonna beat me. They say beat me, drag me, call me nigger, spit on me. Mm-hmm. All I want to do is make it to that poll. Thank God for our democracy. And got crooks all around, but thank God it worked.
Yes. And that point is so important. It's so important because guess what? If this coming election day, the polls are going to be, the lines are going to be crazy. They're doing stuff already to try to suppress the vote. Right. So if we don't have at least a piece or a slither of that determination that our ancestors had, we can't even think about winning this election.
We can hang up our hats. That's
right. We can hang up our hats. So we have to keep exactly what you're saying in mind. We have to keep that at the forefront.
And we have to ask God to stir it up in us. Yes. And we're in a pandemic when people are feeling pressure and feeling depressed and oppressed and jobs. But I tell you, I know a God, and I didn't come to preach about that.
Preach.
Will provide.
Yeah.
And take us. And a lot of us, we're not a part of the 190,000 that soon will be 200,000 dead. If I'm still here and I got breath and I got a piece of bread, I'm going to the polls because it is He that is within me, that empowers me than he that's in the world. The world is doing a lot of crazy things. Like you said, the postal, I want to say this, and I'll give some information. If we or our votes were not powerful, why would they fight so hard?
Why?
And do crazy and obvious things to keep from voting, cleaning the voting, going in the books, moving us off without telling us, changing the different polls so you don't know where taking let's see. Taking what's the thing that separated the vote? Taking the machines out of the post office. Are you kidding me? I mean, they working hard to say no, that this will discourage them and they're not gonna go.
Yeah.
Because listen, walk by faith and not by sight. I said it today. Walk believing and not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what the news.
That's good.
I already made it up in my mind. They said, order your voting ballot early. I hope you guys are doing it if you plan to do it. I said, I'm going to the polls, early voting the first day. I'm going at 6 a.m. I'm going early to make sure you know what? I don't want them to handle my ballot. I'm going to press my own button And if I had to stay out there 3 days, somebody go get
Yes.
me a hot dog or some Popeyes. I'm not moving. I'm like my granny. I'm like your
Yeah.
granny. I'm not moving
Yes.
until I'm counted at the,
Yeah.
because my vote counts. So Jasmine, what is it? Go vote, bruh.
Go vote, bruh. Go
I
vote, bruh. And
say it
you
like
know what, Pastor
you
B?
got
To that
swag.
point, we've been saying the influencer word a lot, and I want to just clarify and insert a caveat. You know, sometimes in our social media world, especially for my generation, we think of influencers as people that have 1 million followers. Oh, well, you know, they're not talking to me because, you know, I hear saying use your influence, but I don't have 1 million followers. I don't have 10,000 followers.
On.
An influencer is anybody that can, I would say walk or talk, but even if you can't walk or talk, you have influence in some kind of way. You can type, you can text, you can whatever it is. If you have breath in your body, the Lord has called you to be an influencer, whether it's with one person or with 1 million. So I just want to encourage everyone listening that no matter how big or small your following, you think your following may be,
Yes.
we all have to do our part. We all have to do our part.
I said a circle. If you got 10, get those 10. Can you
Yes.
imagine 1,000 women getting 10? That's 10,000 votes.
Woo.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
you know, it's
Just like that.
got to make. I see John McCain, your boy, is on there, minister. He's saying, "Make it plain, mother." They know, amen. But I see you, and I see people like Minister Marilena Brown, and you know, older people. They understand the fight is real.
Yeah.
And look, I said we must. Pardon me. We must be some powerful people. The devil been fighting us a long time, but you know what?
Woo.
Let us not shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
You could say, you know, as the scripture says, I was running. Who hindered? The Lord said you were running a race. Who hindered you?
Mm-hmm.
I hope we don't say to the Lord, well, I shot myself in the foot. That's why I can't run.
Yeah.
Let somebody else hinder you, but don't be your own hindrance. The reason
You.
don't you be your own hindrance that you can't. Don't you be your own hindrance that our streets can't be fixed, and policies and things that we need for our community doesn't happen because you shot yourself in the foot.
That's good.
Then who do you blame?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do not say anything if you don't exercise the power that's in you. And so it's valuable. So the email to follow, to become a part, because I'm gonna roll this thing out. I'm asking you, Jasmine, to partner with me because
Yes.
I might be too cute to go to your generation and the generation under. So, you know, if they may say, you know, that's great, but I'll tell them, you know, that's,
No, they love you, Pastor.
yeah, that's,
we all love you.
I color my hair. Okay. Because now the young people wear gray weave. Like, you know,
Yes. Right.
so, you know, I can't figure y'all all out, but it's all good. You can figure them out.
Yes.
So you can email info@themgirlsvote.org. That's what she's saying to me? Yes, you can email. That's what I was. Subject line, them girls vote. Oh, subject line, them girls vote. Them girls vote in the subject line. But the email is info@themgirlsvote.org. Go there. Let's do this. I'm acting like Harriet Tubman. I'm trying to go to the swing state. Yes,
Harriet, you are.
so I'm gonna have to do like the song. If I can't, I get there. If I can, if I gotta crawl, I walk. You know, we sing that little sexy song back in the day. But
Yes.
it's real. COVID is real. But I also did a shirt that said "Covered by the Blood," so that's real too. So
Yeah.
as we begin to roll this out, and I know that you're busy. I'm proud of you, an attorney, and just doing a great work, but loving God still. So it shows you can have achievement in your life and still stick with God. I love that foundation that was laid in you. And so as we go now, we continue and share. I hope you guys are sharing. And what else I want to say? I want to say that, I have a t-shirt, Them Girls Vote. Black girl in the middle, Asian girl on one side, white girl on the other, because Them girls, we bad. Them girls rock.
Yeah.
Them girls vote. Them girls cry, but them girls get back up and make it happen. So yes,
Yeah.
we're going through a lot, but be strong, encouraged, and be encouraged. And let's get people to the polls after we get ourselves to the polls. We ought to be the first to vote to lead our family, because you know what? I just taught the other day on legacy, and I asked the question. Legacy is building something that you leave behind.
Mm.
And I'm going to ask you the question as we prepare to close. What are you building to leave behind? You don't have to have a lot of money, as I said. You might not
Yeah.
have a mansion, but when those babies see you got some get up and go. When they say,
Mhm.
you say voting will change things. You big mama, you little mama, whatever you are, you have influence. You have power. And God is expecting you to use what he gave you. I always say I want to die empty. Whatever you
So good.
gave me, I want you to use it all.
Yeah.
I leave here so my babies will know that Gigi had some fight in her, and Gigi cared about other people. Because I don't just vote for myself, I vote for others. So I'm just grateful to God. It's doing let's see, texting. So go to info at Dem Girls Vote. Also, yes, Nicole, the shirt. The shirt will be available to order next week. Dem Girls Voting, on the back, it talks about why we are voting for all the good things, integrity and equity and justice and just quality, legislation. We want, yes, get some of that crookedness out. It's hard to do. They told me with politicians now, we might be fighting forever to make them not be criminal. But
Mhm.
all I want them to do, though, is do for the people. Many times what they do, they get in trouble for themselves. But help the people. God can use even a devil to get the job done.
Yeah.
Amen. But you,
Yeah.
women of God, participate in the process. Participate in the process. So when the victory comes, you can shout with us. So I'm going to be planning and putting out their virtual parties, uh, voting events, parties, uh, giving out gifts, and I want you to be a part. So every time you get somebody registered or to vote in Greater, you can go on Thursdays and fill out your ballot. October the 8th, last day to register to vote in New Orleans. Somebody said some other areas are voting today. See, we're late.
Ooh.
Geez.
Yeah.
But then I think the 13th, I believe, is when early voting starts through the 20th something. So we have it all out there. I'm going to be posting. Keep posting Dem Girls Vote. Hashtag it. Give your message. Use your influence with your followers to get them to vote, and tell them when they vote or when they register, take a picture and post it. Post it. Post it to your page and let you know, girl, you have influence. I voted because of you, because I love you, because I saw you caring for me. So any closing remarks, Jasmine?
Yes, and I was gonna say, tag them girls vote. Hashtag when
Hashtag,
you go out and vote,
yes,
make sure you hashtag them girls vote. I'm
girls,
writing it right now in the chat,
yes.
so that they know, so that we can
So
make it go.
love you so much. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, Tiffany. Tiffany is my right hand in this effort. Thank you, Angie, Media, Dontre. I love all y'all, Christy and Jasmine Brown. C- Congratulations. And Mathena, thank you. Mathena, that's doing our graphics. We love you. So I'm gonna sign off, but I just want you to know greater is in you. And sometimes it's difficult to walk out the greater in you, but I want to say this: you've got to learn how to walk in purpose
Yes.
under pressure, even with pain. You can do it. If Christ did it, if little David slew Goliath, I have confidence that you can walk this thing out. Go get it, ladies. I love you, them girls. vote. Yay. Thank you, Jasmine. Have a
Thank you for having me. I love you so much.
I love you more. Stay 6 feet away and wear your mask. Put your mask. There you go. You got one of those. Amen. Fancy, but it serves the purpose. I love you so much.
Oh my gosh. Love you too, Pastor G.
Like to make her laugh. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for taking our time to be here. I love y'all so very much.
So wake up, my friend.
Wake up, my
Wake
friend.
up, my friend. Wake up, my friend. It's time to thrive. You can do it.
Wake up, my friend.